What's up, witches?
What's up?
Happy, merry, blessed Mabon.
Yeah, happy Mabon. Day late, but not $1 short. Well, at least not today, anyway.
I'm Linda Hurd.
And I'm John Kane.
And you're watching our brand new podcast called Getting Witchy. We invite you to join us in our living room where we talk about everything from Wicca to witchcraft to everything supernatural, sometimes even aliens. So,
it looks funny. If you look at this, like, because of the couch, it looks like there's actually
a divide?
Like, yeah. Anyway.
So, what's been going on with you this week?
I mean, not a whole lot. I only got one day off this week because we did the 3-day weekend last weekend. You had to work, so I had to go yard sailing by myself, and it wasn't as much fun without you, especially since I found it was crazy. Like, I was going to the ones that you had sent me that you found on Facebook, and it was, I didn't take the directions that maps told me to. I just went with my instinct and drove, and then let maps catch up to me. But every time I did that, I would find like 3 other freaking yard sales that weren't.
That's cool, though.
So much so that I ran out of money, and after dropping off the package to that eBay, oh, by the way, I sold another double pack. Yeah, I know. After dropping that off, like, at that point, I had spent all I had plus a little, and I literally had to tell myself, "You're not stopping. You're not going to stop. You're not. I need to get a bumper sticker that says I break for yard sales." Found some cool shit. Although we're probably not going to use them because we could make a little bit off of it, but those holiday M&M, like, they're cool as shit. Let me show you. Oh, what happened to the ones that were up here?
I put them in a little plastic bag.
Where?
You know what? Why don't you come sit here? And
No, I'm...
Because I...
Okay, all right.
I'll be right back.
So anyway, while she's finding the stash bag, they're little M&Ms about the size of maybe $50 in circumference, right?
Yes.
That's circumference. I was good at math, never good with the fucking words describing it. And I thought maybe they were pencil toppers, which I thought could be kind of odd because that would mean that it would be a W. But they're freaking holiday light toppers. So you would take white LED lights or regular bulbs and shove the little bastard up into it. Or it into him. And they're fucking holiday lights. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, so yes, that's and then I, did the normal stuff to get ready for the work week, and now we're back into the work week. So that was my week.
Okay. Have you cast any spells this week?
Yes.
What'd you cast?
Well, it wasn't so much a spell as it was just magic. The day you told me that, well, the day Saturday when I was on the yard sales, I felt a bit anxious, like dread.
Right.
And when you call, and I didn't say anything to you before you left because I didn't want to put that negativity out there or have that conversation that is about negativity before you got on the highway, got on the road. So when you told me you were there safely, that's when and I think I told you first that I was feeling really anxious and feeling a lot of dread. And then you acknowledged that you were as well. So I got to the next stop relatively quickly. But prior to going there, I started focusing on just sending calming energy to you. And then when I stopped, I meditated before going into the one where I found all the McDonald's plates, the Happy Meal toys, the freaking M&M thing. I mean, that was like a gold mine finding that little old couple. Before going into that, I stopped and gathered myself and centered myself.
Right.
And then just sent calming energy to you and projected myself to your location to hug you. And then that ended pretty quickly because I felt the need to put a shield around you. So I put a shield around you for the day and one around myself. And after that, I was really freaking hungry. So much so that I started getting dizzy. It was, one of those. It was sudden. It was there. It wasn't just a little tummy grumbling and, oh, maybe I should get something to eat, and I ignore it. It was as if I had been ignoring it for like an hour and a half.
Right.
So, anyway, there was that. And then, well, I didn't. You did. It's still magic. You put together the sleeping oils for my coworker.
Right.
But anyway, that's the only magic that I can think of off the top of my head that I've worked. Because we did the abundance checks on the new moon, which was 2 weeks ago, so that's not the last week.
Or a week and a half or
something like that.
Like
it wasn't this past week.
Right.
So. Well, and then I did a bonfire accidentally last night for Mabon. I tend to celebrate more, or is it imbibe or imbibe more on the adult beverages than most people can keep up with, generally speaking. Baby fell asleep a little early last night. I got the Mabon bonfire ready and actually started it. Realized she was asleep, went to put it out. It didn't go out. It started back up again and burned out the wood that I had put in there. So we did a bonfire. We just
didn't get to enjoy it.
We just didn't get to enjoy it. But so what have you been doing this past week?
Not much, other than making sure that I'm centered and grounded before going to work. I'm about 3 weeks into a new job, working in food service.
I'm sorry. That's not just food service. It's fast food service. We'll leave the name of the restaurant out. I've done fast food as an hourly manager, trying to become a salaried one. It's a beast. I've bartended and I've served at traditional restaurants. Fast food is a completely different freaking animal. Anyway, so just wanted to, yes.
So yeah, about 3 weeks into a fast food service job, and yesterday was feeling quite anxious for no reason that I could think of, but he was also feeling anxious, and when I mentioned it to my supervisor, she mentioned she was also feeling anxious, this overwhelming sense of dread, like something bad was going to happen. And she and I decided that we weren't not going to put our energy into that we were going to focus on having a great day. And we did actually have a pretty good day. It was busier than usual, but it was a great day. Other than that, the only other magic really that I have done this week was I did shove a stranger in the freezer. If you don't know what that means,
look it up.
There is a type of spell called a freezer spell. Now, there are differing opinions on the freezer spell. Some say that it freezes the targets in their actions, in their current actions. So whatever it is they're currently doing to piss you off, they'll continue doing. But about 80% of the people who know about the freezer spell are of the opinion that it will stop the person from doing what they're doing and actually get them out of your life. Make them chill the fuck out, so to speak. And that's how I see things. Well, this complete stranger was upset about a situation that involved her boyfriend and somebody not involved in their relationship. And instead of being angry at her boyfriend for cheating on her with the other person, decided she was going to take her shit out on the other person, not her boyfriend at all. Now, if she was going to be angry at both of them, I could understand. But she still wanted to be with her boyfriend and treat him like nothing ever happened. And she was threatening the safety of the affair partner. And that's where I draw the line. If you want to be mad at your partner for cheating on you, that's one thing. But if you're going to threaten the safety of somebody else, that's where I'm going to step in. So I threw that bitch in the freezer so that she can't hurt the other person. She can't hurt the affair person. Because, for one thing, that's not the person who cheated on her.
And that person may not have even known that dude was in a relationship.
She claims she did, but all the evidence she presented existed after he slept with her boyfriend. Yes, he was gay, and she's trying to out him for being gay. And the thing is we don't know where he's located, but if he's in one of those places where being gay is a sin and a crime, his safety is seriously in danger. So yeah, I shoved that bitch in the freezer. And I have no qualms about it. I don't feel sorry about it. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I will always step up when it comes to somebody else's safety.
Well, we've done that before.
We have.
That
yes.
should probably go up without discussion.
Yeah. No,
but we've done it before.
We're not going to mention that.
Well, also, I think because it's been a little while since our last recording, and we are trying to get better at that. But since the last time we recorded,
yes. A lot has happened.
We had to put our kitty Midnight down. And without getting too much into this, because it'll cause us both to be quite emotional, I just want to say, and this is off the cuff, they didn't ask for this, they're not paying for shit. If you're in the Phoenix metro area, Serenity In-Home Pet Euthanasia. They are the sweetest, most kind and caring
and compassionate
couple of people that we have ever met. And let's face it, if it comes to the point where you have to do that, at least for us, we couldn't see putting her through the trauma of a carrier to a vet clinic and all that to then be stuck with a needle. Rather, here at home in our arms. And Serenity did it beautifully. And we want to thank them.
Yes. They took their time with us. They gave us plenty of time to spend with her before the injections, after the injections. before they took her. She passed peacefully here at home.
In our arms.
In our arms, surrounded not only by us, but our 2 boys and her brother Maury. And we just thank them so much. So very much. And they gave us a couple different keepsakes. Not only the little paw print in the frame, but enough of those little ink paw prints for each member of the family to have one, and then a couple little clay paw prints.
And a beautiful letter.
And a beautiful written letter about how loved she was here. So we just want to thank them so much, so very, very much. But definitely, if you have to go that route and you're in the Phoenix area, please give them a call, because they will definitely take very good care of your loved one.
So anyway, sorry, was going through puberty there for a minute. So those are some of the things that have been going on with us. Hopefully we can get this stuff posted on YouTube or something soon, where you can leave comments, and I would love to talk to some of you guys.
Definitely.
But anyway, so what else are we going to talk about?
Well, I thought it might be good to at least give a little bit of information about Mabon for those who don't know. And this is coming from this wonderful little book right here, Wicca by
It doesn't look
Scott
like that
Cunningham.
anymore.
No, it doesn't look like this anymore. This is
actually,
like the original cover.
Yeah, that's the original version. This is the revised version. Wicca by Scott Cunningham.
And let's see if I can find my... I thought I had it marked. But from all of the descriptions that I have read about Mabon...
Should I get my...
Your what?
Notebook?
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's, in a way, sort of like a pagan version of Thanksgiving. It's one of the harvest festivals. It's...
Well, that's its nickname, actually.
Towards the...
Pagan Thanksgiving.
It's also known as the autumn equinox. Mm-hmm. So it happens anywhere between September 21st through the 23rd.
But it's also the time period, part of the autumn equinox is the time period that day and night are equal.
Yes.
So the concept of it is also to bring balance, or it can help bring balance.
Yes.
Anyway.
So anyway, some Mabon lore from Mr. Scott Cunningham. A traditional practice is to walk wild places and forests, gathering seed pods and dried plants. Some of these can be used to decorate the home, others saved for future herbal magic. The foods of Mabon consist of the second harvest gleanings, so grains, fruit, and vegetables predominate, especially corn. Cornbread is traditional fare, as are beans and baked squash. Oh, I love cornbread. Love cornbread, especially it's not, I don't even think it's really considered cornbread, considering it's not completely cooked all the way through. But have you ever been to a Mexican restaurant where they give you that little glob of the cornmeal with the corn in it? Like the sweet corn?
So a hush puppy that's not cooked all the way.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's what we call them in the South, hush puppies.
But have you ever had those?
Not cooked all the way in the center? I have, and I've had it different ways, to where one time it was really mushy in the center. Didn't like that whatsoever. No.
No, yeah, no, that's...
The other was where it was more or less cooked, but still really gooey. Mm-hmm. Not batter.
Not mushy, but gooey.
Yeah, not batter.
No, that's how I like it.
Yeah, that was pretty good, but, in the South, they deep fry everything until it's fucking...
Well, that's the South. I'm talking
done.
Mexican.
Yeah. But I've also had it cooked where it's all cooked all the way through, and that was good, too.
Right. So, before...
It was almost like a dessert.
Yes.
Because with the sweet corn in it, and then the cornmeal is sweetened as well.
Right.
It was, to me anyway,
it's almost like a dessert, yeah. So before this year, have you ever celebrated Mabon?
Well, yeah, before we actually were we both kind of did our Mabon dinners when I was living on Allred, and you were not. You were doing something with, you did a squash, zucchini, like carrot, the root vegetables, seasoned with garlic and salt and pepper. And then I don't know what the others, but I remember that because you and I were talking about that. And,
right.
And then I did something similar. I think I used a squash. It wasn't. Yeah, I don't know how to. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was an orange one. I forget what it's called now. It wasn't spaghetti squash. I hate that. Anyway, that with zucchini and yellow squash and carrots and onions with, I think, chicken is what I did.
Okay.
And did something very similar. But yeah, I remember. Yes, I have. But I don't think I did last year.
So
that was the year before.
Yeah, when it comes to like cleaning and decorating the house and everything, I think I only ever did that once before, and that was long before you and I met. That ended up being a really horrible experience because not only did my mother throw a hissy fit about the fact that she was not invited to the celebration when really it wasn't a celebration, it was just an in-home family dinner.
Yeah, but she's not even pagan.
And that's the thing. But my mother, seriously, I think she suffered from main character syndrome because she always had to be the center of everything.
I find that humorous because even with my mom, I mean, if I told her we were doing a pagan celebration, she would not expect to be invited.
Right.
Because that's not her thing.
Right. But I remember, like, I spent all day cleaning and decorating the house for fall, and then I made a beef stew for dinner, which I served over rice, and my mom threw this fit on Facebook about, basically asking, like, well, who's coming over that's so important that you have to do all this? And it's
on
like...
Facebook?
Yes.
I hate when people do that. Like, why do you put... Like, that's... First of all, I don't like... call me.
Right.
Now, with things so busy, it's almost the reverse. Just, if it's quick, send me a text.
Right.
Anyway. But, like, there are so many means of communication. Why do you have to put it out on social...
media?
But anyway.
But yeah, she responded to my post because I had posted pictures of the house and how I had decorated.
Which you haven't done. Did you want to?
And I probably will within the next couple days.
Okay.
But she was asking, like, well, who's coming over that's so important that you have to clean and decorate and all that? I was like, well, nobody. Like, it's just a family dinner between me and the boys, and so I'm divorced, and my two boys are from my marriage to a guy named Matt. And at the time that this happened, I was in a serious relationship with another guy, who shall remain nameless, because he doesn't deserve to be named. But it was just between me and my boys and my boyfriend at the time and their dad. It was just a family dinner night, but it was a special family dinner night. And so not only did my mother put a damper on it because she wasn't invited, and she was basically trying to say that, oh, I know your sisters are invited, and I bet all your witchy friends are invited. And it's like, no, nobody's invited, because I didn't want to overwhelm myself the first time I actually celebrated this thing.
Right.
But then when I served dinner, my boyfriend at the time, who was a chef classically trained, worked in restaurants since he was 15, blah, 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 blah. Could not be bothered to appreciate the meal that I made. And instead of just saying thank you for making dinner, asked me if it was supposed to be served over rice. Okay, now granted, the beef stew had potatoes in it. And yes, I served it over rice. And in front of my children and my ex-husband, he basically criticized me for double starching everybody. Because what? People don't get double starched on real Thanksgiving? So that kind of put a dampener on it too. So before, I think it was last year, before last year, that was the only other time I ever tried to celebrate Mabon. And the only reason I tried to celebrate it last year was because I was free of that asshole. And wanted to try again. And thankfully I found somebody who actually understands and appreciates what it's like to be different in this world.
Oh yeah, I know what it's like to be different.
So, I appreciate you. And I look forward to us celebrating, hopefully, every holiday together.
Of course.
Like, every holiday. Coming up is Samhain, Halloween.
My favorite.
My favorite.
My favorite. Yeah, okay. I work for a retailer. Christmas stuff was going out. Now today, as of the date of this recording, is September 24th. Christmas stuff was being put on the mother-loving shelves last week.
No joke.
We got 22 pallets of Christmas stuff. The week before that.
Y'all, September ain't even done yet.
Yeah, I know. That's like, God bless America. And then, I really enjoyed The Nightmare Before Christmas. But holy it's going to be around until Christmas. Like the different shirts for, yeah. Anyway.
I do have to say, and I know it's not a Christmas shirt, it's actually a Halloween sweatshirt that I saw in your store with a bunch of dancing skeletons that says hexes on my exes.
I thought about getting that for you. Well, they also have one where it's two skeletons, one standing up, the other's in pieces on the floor, but the one standing up is holding the other one's spine, and it says, "Yeah, I've got your back." And I was joking with a coworker. I'm like, that one reminds me of work. They died laughing once they saw what shirt I was talking about. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, Samhain is coming up. However you celebrate it, even if you don't celebrate it as Samhain, Halloween, same shit. All Hallows Eve. That is my favorite holiday. I'm kind of, and don't misunderstand me, I'm kind of glad that The Nightmare Before Christmas is taken off so much because it does bring Halloween all the way into the Christmas season. I freaking love that. But they're also bringing Christmas into freaking Halloween. I'm just saying.
I know. Trust me, I dread November 1st.
Dude, I don't know what I really do. I started before Christmas last year, but I was not there during a Christmas season. It's gonna be interesting, I'm sure.
Well, the reason I dread November 1st though is that a lot of the retailers around here will listen to KEZ.
Oh yeah,
which turns to Christmas music as of November 1st.
Yeah.
So I dread November 1st. I dread going into any retailer, any restaurant that may be playing that because...
Well, we have our own thing going.
You have your little music thing.
Well, yeah, it's more like live radio, but yeah, it's not pre-recorded. So I'm hoping they don't do that too. That's
no. There's only so much Christmas music I can stand before I start to go insane. Now, my mother, on the other hand, would start to listen to Christmas music as of like June 20th, which was her birthday.
And as much shit as I talk about Christmas, I do enjoy the Christmas season because people genuinely seem to try harder, which is also very saddening because why can't we just do that every day? But I because I do like the Christmas season, I actually every year, I don't know why, around July, I start frickin' singing, not singing, but humming or whistling fucking Rudolph or Jingle Bells.
Maybe. You start that before July. I don't think you've noticed this, but you actually will just randomly do it like
throughout the year.
Throughout the year.
Oh, I'm crushed. See, I've been programmed. Even with my paganness and witchiness, I've been programmed. It's a commercial freaking entity, Christmas is. It is.
It is.
You should see the shit we're putting out.
I know, baby.
It's insane. I'm looking at the other people putting it out, and we're just kind of all just like shaking our heads. Like, can you freaking believe this? Like, it's an entire, like,
I know.
60 by 50 or 40, and then a whole nother like 60 or 70 foot stretch of shelving.
I know. I know. And it seems like lately, especially at least in the past decade, like,
it's coming earlier and earlier.
Yes. And people have seemed to have forgotten about...
It used to not be out until, like, maybe just before Thanksgiving.
Right.
I remember that. Or right after that. Like, the day... Like, all the Christmas stuff was out.
Right. But it seems also like a lot of people are forgetting about why we do this. Like, why we celebrate Christmas or Yule to begin with.
True.
You know, a lot of people think it has something to do with Jesus. Trust me, it doesn't. He was born in March. Okay? You want to know how I know that? Because the shepherds were in the fields, and they're not going to be in the fields in Israel in winter. Because there's snow. Right? Yeah. But they were in the fields when he was born. Which means he was born in spring. So it has nothing to do with him. However...
Well, there's also an Egyptian god that was born on December 25th, too.
Well, yes, and you also have the other pagan battle between the Holly King and the Oak King, and, right. You know, the one kills the other, but the goddess is already pregnant with the baby and
right.
all that jazz. We'll go over that sometime later. That's not a conversation for right now. But I think a lot of people forget that, like, this is the time of year when we're supposed to be coming together and taking care of each other. Because winter is coming, and that's when the food is going to be scarce.
Right.
And we have to be taking care of each other and making sure that, you know, everybody has
what they
something,
need.
What
right.
they need.
I know. Which is, you know, where the idea and concept of kindness and generosity and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But this is for another recording. We're not getting into this right now. We're not talking about Yule. No. Samhain is coming up.
Samhain, yay! Which means that my family is going to be doing our new tradition of Dia de los Muertos.
Yes.
Which we actually started in 2021. We were already planning it. Like, we had started planning it in August.
Mm-hmm.
And then we lost both of our parents. And right around mid-October, we were wondering, like, are we still going to do this, or should we even still do this? And it was like, you know what? We were already planning it, and
Right.
it seems like a good time to start a new tradition. So we started it then, and
This year I'm taking a flask of tequila. It's gonna happen.
yeah. I mean, I kind of feel really bad though, because like I feel bad for my sister, middle child, Vicky, because the last boyfriend who ever met mom and dad is the last boyfriend who will ever meet mom and dad, and he wasn't worth it. But he was there at that first
Okay.
thing, so I kind of feel bad for her about that. Just because it's like, I think there's a part of me that's like always going to associate him with it,
Not if it's a new. It's
but
a new thing.
you know,
He's not
he's
part
going
of
to
it.
get his.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. Nothing. But I think that's all for tonight, guys. One love. Have a great night. Hope you had a happy Mabon. And we will be doing another recording, at least 2 before Samhain.
Yes.
So, but still, happy Samhain.
Keep an eye out for future episodes.
And keep your eyes in the sky. You never know what you're going to see. Told you we talk about aliens. Good night, guys.
Good night.